Hello, everybody. Welcome to our live stream this week. Got some people joining in. Thanks for being here. I had some questions that I posted on my wall, my YouTube page. Some questions beforehand. I'm going to get to those questions. And if you have questions, obviously you can put them in the chat. Already getting some requests in. I'm going to actually jump right to my community page on YouTube. And there's some questions that came in this afternoon. So I'm going to jump in right with one of those. I had, let's see here, Brittany Donahue asked the question, why do I have a YouTube channel? And so Brittany, the reason I have a YouTube channel is I started it a couple years ago because I was an elementary band director. Now I teach high school band, but I taught elementary school. And I started my YouTube channel to do little tutorials for my students on how to play their instruments, because I know that a lot of times in beginner programs, at least in my part of the United States, you get a instrument lesson once a week, and then you don't see your music teacher maybe for another week. And so I wanted to help my students practice at home. So why don't you guys check in and let me know, do you have band lessons? Do you have band class every day, or do you have band lessons once a week? I'm curious if you guys could check in on that and let me know what you guys have at your school. In my school, it's once a week. And Lufty is every day, and Alex is every day. I forgot my French fries wants to know, why do I want to help you with your troubles and problems? Well, I don't know. I think it's, I really like to teach music. And so I think it's kind of cool that we can be here on YouTube Live together and I can answer your questions. So that's what I'm here for. Hey, everybody. Thanks for being here. I like seeing all you guys checking in. There's Joshua Williams. I remember you. And a lot of people checking in here. Here's a good question from Rocky28. When did I start playing? I started playing when I was in 5th grade. I started on clarinet. And then in high school, I switched to saxophone. Someone jumped in here with a question. I wish I could say hi to all you guys. Thank you for checking in. Someone checked in and asked me, Dennis, I don't know if you caught this. Oh, let's welcome Dennis. Hi, Dennis.
Yeah, how you doing?
Welcome.
Doing well.
You're doing well? Good.
I'm doing well.
Welcome back with us. I saw a question about, I think someone asked me how my concert went on Tuesday. That's something I can talk about. I want to see if I can find who asked me about my concert, or Dennis, if you see it. And if you asked that question, go ahead and ask it again. I had a concert on Tuesday, and I was a little nervous about it because I had some really difficult stuff to practice and some really fast notes. And my concert, Wolfie is asking, hi Wolfie. My concert went really well. I was really excited how it came out. And, you know, I don't know if you guys were on my live stream when I was practicing, but I really had to practice those fast parts over and over and over again. And you practice slow and then speed it up gradually. And I have to tell you that really paid off at the concert, because when the concert comes, you're a little bit nervous, but your fingers, because I practiced so much, my fingers were able to do those fast notes. So it was a great concert. Did anyone else have a concert this week? Or does anyone have a concert coming up this week? It is concert season. So let me know if you have a concert coming up. CJ's got a concert. Tornado has Festival of Sound. Lufty has a concert on Tuesday. Talia has a concert. T-Dubs has a concert. Wow, a lot of you guys have concerts. So good luck with your concerts. I had another request. I'm going to do some requests. On my community page, I had someone request, Aurelie asked for something on flute, And someone else asked for Jurassic Park. I had a couple requests for Jurassic Park. So what I did, I sort of know how to play Jurassic Park, but I also Googled it to look for some sheet music. You can find a lot of great sheet music, guys, if you Google just sheet music and the song you're looking for. Let me find it. Where did it go? So I'll just remember how it goes. So this is Jurassic Park on the flute. Oops. Then there's the second part, goes up the octave. And that's pretty much how it goes. Thanks, guys. Dennis, would you mind chiming in with a question?
So far, they're just asking for requests. The biggest one I have is Undertale on the Alto Sax.
Undertale. I think I have to look that one up. Is Undertale the one from the video game? Let me look it up. Is that the one that goes... Is that the one? Is that Undertale? I have to look it up.
Yeah.
And I also want to see what... What's that?
Canon and D.
Canon and D. Adam checked in and said yes. Thanks, Adam.
Yeah.
So, Undertale theme song. I actually was learning this on clarinet. Let me listen to it. Oh, here it is. Let me unmute here for a sec. Ah, yeah. Okay, so in alto sax, it's in B minor. It's based on this thing called a pentatonic scale. So that is Undertale. That is a request for ya. Undertale on clarinet would be in the key of E. And it's kind of easy to play because it's the same scale every time. The lower note changes. That's how Undertale goes. So let's see if we have some questions about playing instruments. I know Dennis. Go ahead.
One question came up was interesting. She wanted to know if this was age restricted. Your live stream.
I don't think so. Unless I clicked the wrong button. I think it
was more out of curiosity.
Oh, okay. There is a button on when you're doing a live stream where it asks you if it's going to be age restricted, and I always make sure that's not checked. But yeah, I consider my live stream for all ages because I know I've got some younger folks who are beginners. I even have some adults who are beginners of all ages, and that's really cool. Jambu says your clarinet broke. Well, that's a shame. You should bring it to your music teacher and have them check it out. Xmox asked me, when did I start to stream? Today or like ever? I started to stream today it's 5 o'clock where I live on the East Coast of the United States. And then I started doing live streams probably about a year ago. And Dennis has been with me helping to navigate all your questions. So that is super helpful. Elliot is asking, when you play saxophone, it doesn't sound as clean as when I do. So for a clean sound on saxophone, you should make sure you have a good reed. You should make sure you're practicing long tones. So if you have a fuzzy sound, you should work on your embouchure, O, and work on long tones. If you got any sort of fuzziness or spittiness in your sound, you can make sure you don't have extra saliva in your mouthpiece, kind of like wipe off your reed. Okay, and then you just try to listen to your sound and make small adjustments, and it'll help clear up your sound. So I saw another good question come through. Oh, double tonguing on the trumpet. Does anyone out there know how to do double tonguing on the trumpet? You do something with your, instead of saying two, 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 you say tuku, tuku, right? There's different ways of doing it, but if you say tuku, and what you're doing is you can double the amount of speed that you're tonguing, because you tongue it once with the front of your tongue, two, and then a second time with the back of your tongue. Alyssa has taka taka. Yeah, there's different ways of saying it. Taka 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 taka, and you can double time your tonguing. It takes a lot of practice. I'm actually not particularly good at that because I don't play trumpet. I don't practice trumpet a whole lot. I'm more of a saxophone, clarinet, flute player. Someone asked, how do you double tongue on French horn? It's the same process. Okay. There was another request. Let's see. Go back to my wall here, my community page. Oh yeah, someone asked about Rhapsody in Blue on the clarinet. Okay, so I've played it before, but then I Googled it and I found a little bit of the sheet music. So the opening of Rhapsody in Blue, Shivani, I will help you with your solo. Ask if you have a specific question, maybe you could ask. I can give you tips on practicing, but Shivani is looking for help on your solo. So Dennis, if you see anything come through from Shivani on that, we can answer that next.
Okay.
So the opening to Rhapsody in Blue starts with a trill. So you do that for a little bit, and then you go up a C major scale. You go all the way up to about a high G or high A, and then we do this thing called a glissando or a smear, and it sounds like this. Hear that? It's a very jazzy effect. So the whole thing is. Okay, so that is how you do the opening of Rhapsody in Blue. Thank you very much. Hunger Games. Someone's asked. Ciara is asking me for Hunger Games. I actually don't know. I'd have to look up the theme for that. Maybe I can add that to my list of things to do. So I'll put that on my to-do list, okay? So here's Shivani's question. I don't know, Dennis, if you've been catching Shivani's question too.
Yeah, but the same thing. It says, how do I make it up without squeaking?
Oh, Shivani. Make it, how do you, Shivani, what instrument do you play? So Shivani needs help with her solo, but she's squeaking. You have to let me know what instrument you play, Shivani. Oh, tenor sax. Okay. So for tenor sax, if you're squeaking, there's a couple things it could be. It could be your saxophone needs to get fixed. It might have some air leaks in it. So if that's part of the reason you're squeaking, that's not your fault. That could just be maybe the saxophone has some air leaks. So that's first thing. Maybe have your teacher play your saxophone and make sure it works. Make sure you have a good reed. Make sure you're using the correct embouchure, and that will help you not squeak as much. And even if you squeak a little bit here and there, that's perfectly normal if you're just starting or if you're a beginner player, maybe first couple of years. So make sure your reed is lined up correctly. This is my alto. So the reed has to be lined up correctly with the top of the mouthpiece. Okay. Tyrmon is asking me for Pink Panther on the baritone. I don't have my baritone with me, but I could maybe do that for you another time. Mr. Bubby asked me how to circular breathe. Have you guys seen my video on circular breathing? It's basically, who knows how to circular breathe? Anybody? So check it out. I'm going to fill my cheeks with air. Actually, everyone's going to practice circular breathing with me right now, okay? I want you to fill your cheeks with air, right? And then I want you to practice with your cheeks full of air. I want you to practice breathing in and out through your nose. Ready? So you've got your cheeks full of air. You're breathing in and out through your nose. Now, here's a little bit of a tricky part. You have to fill your cheeks with air. Practice breathing in through your nose while you squish your cheeks and let the air out that way. So ready? So this is, you breathe in and you let the air out from your cheeks. You can't circular breathe on the flute. You can only circular breathe on instruments where your mouth is closed around the mouthpiece. Okay, so then once you've got that weird feeling figured out, you do a long note. And then you practice letting your cheeks puff out. And then you practice breathing in through your nose while the air in your cheeks continues the note on your instrument. This is the trickiest part. I'll do it on a C. So mine's a little bit choppy. You have to work on getting it smooth so your sound isn't interrupted. Okay, Shivani has another question. Also, when you play a D, there's always air hissing. That is probably your saxophone. So Shivani, that's probably not your fault. It's probably something that needs to be fixed on your saxophone. So have your teacher look at it or send it to a repair shop and get it fixed. Dennis, anything popping out for you? Good questions?
Yeah, Tornado KK wants to know, how do I learn Barry Sax fingerings and sheet music? He's switching from a bass clarinet.
Oh, okay. So, learning your baritone sax fingerings, here is, I'll give you some quick info on it, but then you can also, if you Google baritone sax fingering chart, that should bring it up right for you. So, the clarinet has a low register, and then an upper register when you press the register key. The thing about clarinet is the names of your low notes are different than your high notes. So on clarinet in low register, it's G, A, B, C, D, E. But in your upper register, it's D, E, F sharp, G, A, B. So the thing that's a little bit confusing about switching from clarinet to saxophone is your saxophone fingerings are the same as your upper register of the clarinet. So for saxophone, whether you're low octave or high octave, this is always a D, E, F, D, E, F on saxophone, no matter if you're low or high. D, E, F, G, A, B. So that'll get you started, but Google saxophone fingering chart. Einstein is asking, can I play vibrato on any instrument? Yes, although there are traditionally there are certain instruments that in orchestral music, like classical music, does anyone know, I'll ask you guys this, does anyone know what instruments traditionally you do not use vibrato on when you're playing in a classical style? So all the instruments in the orchestra use vibrato. So here's vibrato on, well, piano doesn't have vibrato, that's correct. Anything that you don't use your air for, any wind instrument, it's impossible to do, well, strings you can do vibrato. Bassoon does use vibrato. Violin does use vibrato. Saxophone uses vibrato. Vibrato is when you waver the note like that. So here's non-vibrato. Here's vibrato. You do it by moving your lips, your jaw slightly, like saying wah 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 wah. On flute, you also do. You can do it with your airstream, by going hoo 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 hoo. Your air goes in and out a little bit. Okay, no one got the answer. The answer is if you're playing classical style clarinet, you don't use vibrato. So a classical clarinetist in an orchestra doesn't use vibrato. A clarinet player in a jazz band would use vibrato. So they would use vibrato, but not in classical. Did someone say clarinet and I missed it, Tornado? I might have missed it. Tina, what do I think of synthetic reeds? I think synthetic reeds can serve a good purpose, especially if you're in a situation where you need your reed to absolutely work and you don't have any time to warm up, or maybe you have all your reeds are totally not working. If you have a synthetic reed that you know is going to work, that's helpful. Or sometimes for marching band, people like synthetic reeds because you're outside, the elements, it might be freezing cold, it might be hot, and it might be humid, it might be dry, but your reed is always going to work the same. So, Dennis, do you have something you're seeing?
Yeah, Alyssa asked how to read bass clef, and then there was a follow-up connected where they wanted to know what's the difference between treble and bass clef. She was a newer student, and she didn't know the difference.
Okay. Can anyone out there tell us what are the notes of? So I like to use a hand staff because a staff has 5 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the spaces in between. So what are the names of the line notes in treble clef? Does anyone know? Who's going to be the first one to get the answer? Alexander got the right answer. E, G, B, D, F. And then if you go in the spaces, it follows the alphabet. So E, F, G. Then in music, we don't have any notes, letters higher than G. We just go back to A, B, C, D, E, F. And it's face. We say face in the space. A couple of you got that right answer. Now, here's the next speed round question. What are the letter notes, the line notes for bass clef? Bass clef, it's different. It's lower, and Vern got the answer first. G, B, D, F, A. And then the same logic applies. If you're on a G here, and you go up one, it's an A, then a B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Okay? And there are little tricks. Can you guys maybe type in if you have a trick for remembering the lines of treble clef? The one everyone knows is every good boy does fine, every good boy deserves fudge. Does anyone else have a good one for the lines on treble clef? Elephants go... Alex says elephants go belly dancing Fridays. That's good. Evil gummy bears destroy France. Every good Bronco doesn't fumble. You must be from, where's the, oh, Denver. Einstein must be from Denver. Cool. So I hope that helps answer your question about clefs, okay? The main thing you have to do is you have to really memorize your notes like you're studying for a test. If you're actually playing music in real time, there's no time to figure out what the next note is. You have to know your notes like you're naming your state capitals. Like if you're learning to memorize your state capitals for a test, you try to learn them like you can instantly get the answer. Okay, so that's what I recommend. Let's see. Dennis, did you see another question that caught your eye?
Kendall early on was asking about help with the bassoon. She sounded desperate, but she didn't really have the specifics.
Okay.
Chords.
Yeah, I saw some bassoon questions. Do we have any bassoon players out there? Someone was asking me about playing the bassoon. I can give you some advice. My main advice would be that you work on, see if you can find some tutorials on the embouchure, where you're learning how to make that sort of O shape with your lips, and then your lips go over your teeth and the reed. So there's steps to follow. So I recommend you do a little Googling of bassoon embouchure. And then I know I don't have any tutorial videos on bassoon. I do have a video where I talk to these 4 ladies who are in a bassoon quartet, and that's a fun video. You should check that out. So there's lots of stuff you can find. I don't have any bassoon tutorials on my channel, but I hope to have some of those completed. Hopefully by the end of the summer, I'm going to have tutorial videos on all the instruments in the band. So, good question. I think someone asked where I teach. I teach in Pennsylvania, in the Philadelphia area, the suburbs of Philadelphia. So that's where I am. That's where I live. Let's see. How about I do a request? Something else I can play for you guys. Any other song requests of what I can play? I've seen some requests coming in. Maybe I'll play, and tell me what you want me to play, clarinet or, ooh, Stars and Stripes on flute. Alexander, I can't play that song. I have to practice that. School Spirit on alto sax. I don't know that song. Let's see. Okay, good old Pink Panther. That's a favorite one. What instrument should I play that on? I'll do We Will Rock You on clarinet real quick. We Will Rock You is easy. F, E, D, C, D, D. F, E, D, C, D, D. Okay, so Pink Panther on flute. Wow. All right. So Pink Panther on flute would be like this. Einstein, I am in the key of C minor. I think the original might be in D minor, which would be... I think that might be the key of D minor. So there's Pink Panther. So we are getting close to the end of our live stream. Dennis, were there any major questions coming through that I missed or I didn't address? Or did...
Well, there's some general ones. Jesus wanted to know how often do you clean your instrument, and in terms of taking care of it. And then somebody else wanted to know some basic tips on the alto sax.
Okay. Cleaning your instrument, you should do the basic swabbing of your instrument on a woodwind. You have that piece of cloth that you pull through. You should do that every day after you're done playing. Trumpets and brass instruments, you can give your instrument a bath. There's some YouTube videos on how to give your instrument a bath. And a full bath of your instrument, I think, should be done about every 6 months. And you should empty your water key. Make sure all the moisture is out of your instrument as much as possible. And so that's what I recommend for cleaning your instrument. Definitely what helps is don't eat any food or drink any drinks other than water when you're getting ready to play your instrument, because all those particles go into your instrument and it can get very funky and not good. So, general tips for saxophone: practice every day. Make sure you're doing the right embouchure, and practice your long tones. We talked about long tones to get a good sound. So here's my alto sax. I actually just got my alto sax fixed up. A friend of mine is a saxophone repair person and did a great job tuning up my saxophone. I got some new pads, And Every is saying alto sax. What do you want me to do with my alto sax, Every? Play a song? That's a chromatic scale. What should I play on alto sax, guys? This will be my last song of the day. What should I play on alto sax? Assuming I can play your request. Yeah, Lufty, you've been asking for Coldplay. I'm sorry, I don't know any. What's the one Coldplay song I know? What's their big song? That is a Coldplay song. I can't remember the name of it. So, folks, I am going to get ready to check out of here for another week. So I want to wish you all really good luck if you have concerts this week. Why don't we do a quick check-in? Let me know where you're watching from. I want to say hello. I'll give you as many shout-outs as I can. Oh, Viva La Vida was the name. So as many shout-outs as I can in the next 2 minutes. We're going to do some shout-outs. So Victoria's in Michigan. Brian is in Phoenix. Hello. Tornado is in West Virginia. Elena is in North Carolina. Andrew's in California. Florida, Vern. Hi, Mark. Hi, Tina is in Columbus. Elizabeth is in Washington. JM is in Canada. Lufty is in Leipzig. Hello. Hi, Keely. Xmox is in UK. Oh, I missed one. Mark. Hi, Mark. Let's see. It's the Crew is in South Carolina. Okay, My Bad Note. You're going to be our last question. My Bad Note. Ask your question, and you'll be our last question of the day. Cadence, hi. Real Jalen is in Florida. Let's see if we get a question from My Bad Note. Hi, iBasic in New York. Hello, Lancaster. 000. Should I play Barry Sax or tenor? I don't know. Whatever your band director wants you to play. They're both fun to play. Andrew is in San Jose. There we go. My Bad Note. What concert major scale on clarinet has 3 octaves? Happy Mother's Day. Someone wished me a Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. Make sure you all, in the United States, today is Mother's Day. So make sure you all wish your mother or any mothers that you know, wish them a Happy Mother's Day. 3 octaves on the clarinet, you can do, let me think here. Low E. That would be 3 octaves. You can do F, G. Yeah, so you asked for concert. So that would be clarinet F would be concert E flat. Clarinet F sharp would be concert E, and then concert F. It's a G scale on clarinet. So those would be 3 good scales to work on for 3 octaves. Lufty says it's Mother's Day here too. Oh, Lufty is in Germany, I think. So there we go. That is going to be all for today. Thank you all for watching, and Dennis, thanks again for being with us for our show this week.
Thank you.
Always a fun time. It's kind of rainy weather here where I live, but still going to enjoy the rest of my day. You guys have a great day. Make sure you practice, and I will see you next week at our live stream. Okay.